Hey there, Pichu here, and welcome to today's episode of Infodumps with Pichu, my little series where I just talk about random shit. Of course, a car goes past as soon as I start filming this. My bad. But anyway, my little series where I just infodump at you about random shit that I care about that nobody else really does. Today's episode of Infodumps with Pichu is going to be about Valorant Game Changers, which, for those who don't know, Valorant Game Changers is the Valorant League for women and marginalised genders. So that's women and non-binary people. If I get any pronouns wrong in this video, like if someone uses, I don't know, they, them, and I say she, I don't know the pronouns of a lot of these players, so I apologise in advance for any mistakes in that. It's not intentional. I'm NB myself, like, I promise it's not intentional. Okay, anyway. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about Game Changers. Because I found out about Game Changers just before GCC 2024. Because I'd watched Tier 1 Valorant. I'd watched Masters Madrid. And then once I was watching the clips from that, I started getting other clips, and I got recommended the video of SMG on Lotus with the 4 duelists in the cypher. I got recommended that video, and I watched it and I was like, whoever this team is, that's insane. And then, so I started watching more and more clips. I ended up finding out about Shopify Rebellion, which is a team that is still my favourite team, but we'll get more into them later. But yeah. So that's how I started with Game Changers, and then when the Game Changers Championship was happening last year, 2024, I ended up watching most of the games, to be honest. I wasn't planning to, but it was just a really good thing to do, like, after work and stuff like that. So that's what I ended up getting really into. So a little bit about last year. The teams that I really liked in Game Changers last year were Shopify Rebellion, obviously, Zipto, who have now gone their separate ways and a new Zipto has been formed, but again, we'll get more into that later. We then also have, what other teams did I like? I liked Zeta Division at GC last year. Like, just everything about that team, like, they crumbled too after last year. But something about that team just really pulled me in. They very much had that, like, Pacific vibe, you know? Like, Suzu running around doing, like, the neon, saying not to nerf neon. But, I mean, Suzu herself is just really iconic. But there was also Akko with, like, Falcon Punch when like, the Arcane Gauntlet... When... There was also Akko with, like, doing the Falcon Punch when the Arcane Gauntlets came out, so that was quite fun. But they were such a fun team. A clip that really sticks in my mind is the Moko Spectre 4K on Ascent in mid. Oh, I think about that 4K all the time. That was, and of course them just using all their ults to get into, I think it was Falcon's Vega. I think, like, yeah, so they got into Falcon's Vega's spawn. And then Suzu was in her ult. I think UR was using the Sova ult from, like, from B or something. And they were just trapped in their spawn. And Suzu's just going in there with the neon ult, just, like, killing them all. Genuinely, what a clip. Do you know what? I think I actually have it, so I'll insert it. I don't know how long I need to insert it for, but... yeah.
She wants to go aggro here, A main. If the breach is pushing down short A, you know they want A main control.
Oh god, this is so bold.
Oh,
Look
four
at
members!
sending them scattering. This is outrageous. They are in their spawns. Get out of here. Falcons fight. No! The disrespect. And oh my god, Suzu! Lighting them on fire!
If that was too long, I'll just cut it out. But anyway... So that moment especially as well really sticks into my mind. So yeah, I really liked Zeta Division last year. And then the fourth team that I really liked last year was MIBR, which obviously they made it to the top 2 against Shopify Rebellion. So yeah, last year, I think that was pretty much the top 4 from last year, was it not? It might have been, actually. But, like, those teams, just, like, personality-wise and gameplay-wise, I was there. I was so in. But yeah. So, no, G2 must have been in the top 4, right? So maybe Zato was 5th, and then G2 were in the top 4. I don't remember. This was a whole year ago, basically, at this point, so I don't know. But yeah, so last year, Shopify Rebellion ended up winning for their second consecutive Game Changers Championship win, which, insane. I don't think that's never been done in the history of Valorant before, so Shopify Rebellion, a team for the ages, definitely. But yeah, so I'll get into how rosters changed after GCC 2024. So Shopify Rebellion, well, just for the teams that I personally know and care about. So Shopify Rebellion, obviously Fluorescent went to Apex to be the first woman in Tier 1 Valorant. Let's give her claps. First woman in Tier 1. We love and appreciate that. Which, even if, like, you know, with everything that's happened, you just ignore that for a second, because to be the first woman in Tier 1 is crazy, even if Apex was shit. It's still an impressive feat, right? It's still like, damn, she did well to do that. So, we give her props for that. But yeah, so she went to Apex, and then Shopify Rebellion needed a new duel list. And I remember it so clearly. When I found out that Fluorescent had left Shopify Rebellion, I was like, okay, let me look through all of these GCC 2024 duel lists. Who do I think would fit well and be able to, like, fill the shoes of Floor? So, I went through every single duel list, and I got to, like, the 2 other best duelists in the tournament, which at the time were, in my opinion, SRM and ResQ. SRM playing for MIBR and ResQ at the time playing for G2 Gozen. And I was like, they're players that are good enough, like, who are, like, almost as good as Floor. But I was like, I don't know how well they would fit into the Shopify Rebellion vibe. So I ended up deciding that Dodonut, who is formerly in FlyQuest Red, would be the best fit. And then at some point I opened Twitter, and guess who's fucking signed to Shopify Rebellion? Dodonut. Like, I'm some kind of, like, genius or something. But yeah, so I predicted that Dodonut would go to Shopify Rebellion, and then she did. And then the team is just so iconic. Alright, I'll take this time to talk about Shopify Rebellion, because ever since I found out about them, I have just been watching and re-watching their content. Whether that be, like, voice comms, whether that be any of their other videos that they post, like their questions series, or that one where, I don't know, just any of them, where they were playing, like, Jenga and stuff. Any of those videos, I just watched them. Duo Q podcast as well, which, hey, gotta shout it out. It's Alexis and Mel from Shopify Rebellion, now SRG, Shopify Rebellion Gold, but it's such a fun podcast to watch. Like, I love just having it on in the background while I play, like, Marvel Snap or something. Like, it's genuinely just a really good and really insightful too, actually. They have quite a lot of good opinions, and then sometimes they're just talking about random shit, but it's a very enjoyable watch. So Duo Q podcast, shout out. But yeah, so Shopify Rebellion as a team, I just find their personalities so, like, lovable, and that really just makes me want to root for them, because they're also good in game. So I'm just like, yeah, we love this team. Talking about the other teams that I liked last year, Zipto, the Zipto, I guess, core ended up moving to Falcons Vega, who unfortunately haven't made it to GCC this year, because, and we'll talk about why later, because there's been 3 teams who absolutely went mental in Pacific this year, for GC this year. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so the core of the former Zipto ended up going to Falcons Vega, and then the others, I think one of them retired or something. No, did she? I don't remember. I don't actually remember. But anyway, so they're not a team anymore. And then Zipto ended up picking up a team from elsewhere. I can't remember what the team was formerly. That's my bad. But yeah, so Zipto picked up a whole new roster, and they are insane. If you watched anything from Game Changers Pacific this year, you will have seen that Zipto are crazy. What's her name? Graham's in particular. Graham's? I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Her in particular, mental. Graham's mental, but also Con. Con is also, like, pretty up there. He's just, like, a really decent player. Had some great moments in that BO5. I didn't watch the whole final. I just watched, I think, 2 maps of it. I watched the first map and then the last map. But, genuinely, this Zipto looks insane. Genuinely insane. Like, the team that was second to them, who is also going to GCC, was Ninetales, an insane Korean team. And Ninetales' only losses in the entire thing, I believe they were on like a 21 game win streak or something. Their only losses in the entirety of GCC, of Game Changers this year, were in Pacific, were to Zipto. They won to every other team except Zipto. Zipto were like their kryptonite, because they were on an insane streak. I think it was like 21 games or something. But Zipto is just the only team that could defeat them. So those two are both going into GCC 2025, and I am so excited to see how they play against the other teams that make it up into GCC from the other regions. But for me, this year especially, Pacific has been the region that I've paid attention to, because obviously I love the core of this. I love this new Falcons Vega team, because they've got, who did they get from the former Zipto? They got Camus, Iniri, Alexi, and then they've still got Madvi and Mary, who all are players that I really like how they play and their personalities and stuff. So I've been paying a lot of attention to Pacific this year in terms of Game Changers. So yeah, that's kind of that on that. Zeta Division, they all crumbled. I believe UR ended up going to reignite Lily. And yeah, so that was that. And then Suzu and Moko ended up going to Fennel, which I didn't see any of Fennel's games, because I only really caught like the end part of Game Changers Pacific, so I didn't see Fennel play. But wow, they had the potential, but I think they just, like, it isn't that Fennel weren't good from what I saw, or that Falcons Vega were not good. It was that Zipto and Ninetales were crazy. That's what, from what I understand, that's kind of how things have turned out the way that they have in terms of Game Changers Pacific this year. So yeah, there's that. And then MIBR, who left? I don't know who exactly left. I know that Jelly left. They've still got SRN, Sairi, and a few other people, I think. But yeah, Jelly ended up moving to Team Liquid Brazil. And, okay, I just have to talk about this for a minute. In the Brazil region of games, there was a map, an Abyss map in that Brazil final of Team Liquid Brazil versus MIBR, where SRN, I think it was like it was like a 23-21 scoreline to Team Liquid Brazil to close out the series. SRN, no, not to close out the series, just that was the scoreline. And SRN dropped, I think they dropped the highest kill record for a BO5, and the highest kill record for any game, for any one game. Like, it was mental. Like, I didn't watch the game, but I saw, I opened Twitter, and all of a sudden I just see SRN is crazy. SRN is insane. And so I'm like, right, what have they done this time? Because obviously I watched GCC last year. I know that SRN is a good player. She's proved herself. But I was like, right, what have they done this time? And then I see the screenshot of them with 50 plus kills, and I'm like, damn. I mean, come on. But it's so funny how after that, MIBR still ended up losing. So they are going into LCQ I believe they're going against Wadada, who, when I think about Wadada, I think about kept on going Wadada. I don't know if that's actually what the name is based on. It's probably not based on the Kepler's debut song, Wadada. You know, I don't know if they walk on stage with them and go, Wadada, Wadada. They probably don't. But in my head, that's what they do. I've never watched a VCT NA game. I'm not gonna lie. Even for Shopify, but I just haven't done it because I don't care about any of the other teams really. But yeah, so that's, yeah, so they're going, yeah, anyway. MIBR are going to go against Wadada for LCQ for the last chance qualifier to make it into GCC 2025. And then just talk about one more team that had roster changes, G2 Gozen. So after GCC last year, I think they were quite disappointed in their performance, which I don't want to say valid, but like they definitely had some maps where I was like, damn, I don't know about this one. I think there was like, I don't know, there were just some maps where I was like, okay, this team, I don't know. But yeah, so ResQ ended up leaving. And then I think Petra left for a while, but then they were doing so bad without her that Petra came back. But I don't keep up with EMEA either, to be honest with you. This year I've basically just been watching GC Pacific. But yeah, so ResQ left, so they no longer have ResQ, who in my opinion was one of the best duelists in GCC 2024. It was literally like Floor, SRN, ResQ. Those were the ones I would say were like the top duelists of GCC 2024, and then fourth would probably be Dodonut. So that was kind of the how they went last year. But yeah, so ResQ ended up leaving, and I don't know who they've got in her place, to be honest with you. Couldn't tell you. Ow. I just hit my elbow on my chair, on the arm of my chair. But anyway, right. Now that I've gone through roster changes that matter to me, let's talk about who actually made it. So I think I do have VLR open on my second monitor here. Yes, I do. So, Game Changers 2025, Championship Seoul, and Seoul Korea. So far, the teams that we know are making it. Team Liquid Brazil, since they beat MIBR in that final. The Chinese team is still to be decided. I don't know when they're playing. They'll be playing at some point. EMEA, we don't know the EMEA Stage 3 winner yet. It's likely going to be either G2... Oh, actually, I was going to say it's going to be G2 or KC. But KC, it looks like a 3 from circuit points. So it'll probably be G2. So yeah, there's that. And then there's another EMEA team from circuit points that can get through. So we're going to have to wait and see who that is. I don't know. It doesn't say on VLR, so I don't know the answers. I don't know what to tell you. And then for LATAM, we have Crew Blaze, who put up a pretty good performance last year. I think they got further than I thought they would. Same with KC, to be honest with you. And then SRG, Shopify Rebellion Gold, because they ended up winning wow, I can't speak, hold on. And then for NA, we've got Shopify Rebellion Gold, SRG, who ended up beating, what was her name, YFP, yesterday. I believe it was was it a 3-0? Hold on, let me just confirm that, because I'm sure it was a 3-0. Yeah, they 3-0'd YFP, which, if you watched JoQ podcast, you will have seen that Alexis said that she couldn't actually go to the LCQ. I think that's what she said, she couldn't go to LCQ. So I bet, and I think it was Neuer who pulled an absolute mad one in that series, from looking at VLR last night before I went to bed. So Neuer was like, okay, it's okay, Lexi, like, we won't make you go to LCQ. Yeah, so there's that. And then for Pacific, we've obviously got Zipto, who won in the final, and then Ninetales, who came second in that final, but put up a decent showing. And then, obviously, from the LCQ, that just depends on who wins between MIBR and Wadada. But it will probably be MIBR that wins it, in my opinion, because MIBR are a really strong team, especially with how SRN was playing on Abyss yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. Especially with how SRN has been playing and has always played. I reckon that the MIBR have a good shot there. Let me just see who's in the finals for China here. It looks like, oh, they haven't done the lowers yet. So, oh, that's all happening on the 24th of October. That's so far away, bro. Damn. But it's between Nova, who seem to be on a good run, Team HYG, whoever that is, VLGGC, whoever that is, and then Ambitious Legend Gaming, GC. I don't know any of these teams, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to Chinese teams, I have no idea. EMEA Stage 3, I believe it's... yeah, so they haven't actually gotten to playoffs yet. EMEA are still not at playoffs. Why does it work like this? But anyway, looking at this, it seems like KC are above G2 Gozen currently in terms of wins and losses. Hell, don't mind my water bottle. I'm going to drink from it in a second. But yeah, it looks like KC are above G2 Gozen at the moment. But obviously KC are already through with circuit points. So I don't know how that works. If it's those two teams in the final and then KC win, does that mean that... well, I guess then G2 will... I don't know. What do I know? I don't watch EMEA. But I don't even really pay that much attention to this whole everything that happens. I just watch the games and then I'm like, woman play esport, me happy. Or NB. Woman or NB play esport, me happy. Can't forget my people. Shout out my people. Shout out my people. Anyway, so then EMEA from circuit points. How do they decide that? Oh, whoever has the most circuit points. EMEA circuit points. It looks like it might be Giant X. It'll probably be Giant X that make it in through circuit points, which... what's Giant X's roster? Excuse me. Oh, they still have Smurfette and Ness and Sarah. I don't know if the others were also there last year. I don't really care about EMEA. Sorry to my fellow Brits out there, but I really don't give a shit about EMEA. And then, yeah, when is the LCQ? Don't know yet. We don't know yet. Oh, yeah, it's to be decided. But they're doing a round robin first, I guess. I don't know what that means. But I reckon that MIBR will win, personally. That's my prediction. But anyway, so yeah, that is going to be the teams that are going to be in GCC 2025. To go about storylines, I think the final is probably going to be between SRG and Zipto. I think that's a very likely outcome. And the storyline of that will be good too. Because it'll be like, can the two-time reigning GCC winners beat out even with a new duelist? Like, you know, that's going to be their storyline. And then Zipto, their storyline is going to be, can this team, who have been going mental regionally, perform in front of the best from other regions to make it to that final? Yeah, that's kind of the storylines that we've got going on there. Which storyline do I prefer? Well, if I put personal bias into it, then I want SRG to win, but Zipto? I think Zipto could pull one out on us, I think. What time is it? 9:25. Okay. I have half an hour until I have to go to record my NMix Blue Valentine reaction when that drops. YouTuber. You didn't need to... That's such like a... Because literally, I'm filming this on the day that I'm uploading it because I've been really lazy in recording videos. So I am literally going to film... I'm going to film this, right, and then I'll start editing it because I need to get it up for 4 tonight, my time. And then when it gets to like 10, I'm going to have to go and watch NMix's Blue Valentine music video, film that reaction, edit it, upload it, and then when it gets to bloody 1 PM, it's Hannah's dropping their My Body music video, so I'm going to have to go and watch that and react to that and then edit that and then upload it. It's a busy day. It's a good thing I don't have work today, innit? Because there's no way I could have done all this if I had work. But anyway, paid time off for the win. That's so beyond the point. Who else do I think is going to do well? Team Liquid Brazil, I think they might crumble, to be honest with you. I know that they beat MIBR, even with SRN dropping a crazy 50 plus kills on one map. But I don't know how well they're actually going to do, to be honest with you. KC will probably do well. They seem to be running EMEA at the moment, so I have high hopes for KC. Crew Blaze, they'll probably do like decent. That's what they did last year. Like, they think they, like, I don't know, won like one game or something like that. They'll probably do something like that again. SRG, if they're on their top form, they can win the whole thing. But if they let the pressure get to them, they're fucked. They are just completely 100% cooked if they let the pressure get to them, and if Neuer's having a bad day. If Neuer's having a bad day, then they are cooked. That's kind of how SRG has become now. If Neuer's having a bad day, everyone's having a bad day. Other than when Alexis goes like crazy Battle Sage. We love her for that. She's so me-coded. Except I'm not very good at Valorant. I'm gold. But anyway. Zipto, I can see Zipto doing a very, very good job this year. Ninetales, I think they'll do well too. They've been showing like really, really good sides of themselves. I think it just depends on how they feel going up against these other teams. How like intimidated they get, how nervous they get. But yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about GCC 2025. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. What teams do you think are going to do well? Who are your favourite players? Because my favourite players are all of SRG, all of Zipto, I guess, all of Ninetales, like 332 from Ninetales is a vibe. Have you seen those videos? I think the VCT Pacific accounts have been posting it. It's when the other teams are walking in and stuff. 332 has just been like, woo, she's just been so excited. So we love 332. That's a personality for the ages. I'm really excited to see how things go as GCC 2025 happens. But yeah, those are the players especially, and Graham's from Zipto, because what a performance she's been putting up. And then of course, if SRN makes it, SRN. That's like, yeah, they're always one to watch out for. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments who you're looking forward to, who you think's gonna win, what teams you're rooting for. For me, I'm rooting for SRG and Zipto. But I don't mind who wins, really. It's GCC. It's like, in my opinion, when it comes to women and marginalised genders in esports and sports in general, it doesn't matter to me who wins. We all win, because finally we are seeing women and non-binary people doing things that we've been told historically in society we cannot do. So I'm vibing. I'm having a great time. Send all your love and support to all of the GC players. You know, whether you're a fan of their team or not, whether they beat your favourite team or not, just go send love to these players, because some of them, especially the ones who are trans, must get so much shit on social media. So many comments that are just like, because if you look in the chat of any GC game, like, it's abysmal. So please, go and send all of these players all of your love, because they're making history for all of us, really, by just sort of allowing us to exist in this space. And they're also, like, with Floor going to Tier 1, they're truly paving the way. Like, if we keep showing them support and keep showing all of these orgs that we care and that we think and that we want to watch these women and MBs, and that we are willing to support these women and MBs, like, challengers orgs might be more willing to pick them up. Tier 1 orgs might be willing to pick them up, might be more willing to pick them up. I think a lot of why these orgs are not picking up these women and MBs is that they're worried about the perception of having a woman or MB on their team. So if we just show all of these players all their support, then we can truly help them reach their full potential. So please, support every single team and every single player in GCC unless they're a bad person. Unless they're a bad person. I'm not going to tell you to support someone who you think is a bad person. But also, don't send anyone hate for being a bad person. Just let them exist and pretend they don't exist. But anyway, yeah. Support all the players, support all the teams, have a fun time watching GCC, regardless of who wins, who loses. It doesn't matter. It's a game. And we're all watching it for the entertainment and to see women and non-binary people thrive. So, There we go. That's my final take on this. It doesn't matter who wins at the end of the day. We all win. Because women are non-binary people. Claps. Okay, anyway, I'll end the video now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, have a great day, take care of yourselves, and my next video tomorrow, my next video tomorrow will be my video about NMIX, my Infodumps with Pichu about NMIX, the K-pop group, but also earlier today, I will have posted my reaction to the Blue Valentine music video. Maybe I'll do a reaction to the whole album, I don't know, probably not. But my Blue Valentine reaction, and also a Hannah music video reaction to their new song, My Body. So, go check all those out. Have a great day. Pichu out.